Jenny books a venue for her dream wedding, but doesn't have any man in her life. With the deadline approaching, she tries to find a fiancé while collaborating with a children's book writer, Tyler. Jenny is working on her mood board, with pictures from her grandparents' stylish wedding. Her best friend, Aiden, finds it funny that she's already planning her imaginary wedding. A tarot reader, Madame Lotus, predicted that Jenny would get married on her 35th birthday to the perfect man. She's the most popular fortune teller in France, and Jenny is sure her prediction will come true. Aiden points out that Jenny is single and only has 3 months to plan this wedding. Jenny feels confident because all her other predictions have come true. Madame Lotus told Jenny she would have a creative job, and she's a children's book illustrator. She also predicted she would be surrounded by magic and befriend her hero. Aiden gives her a reality check and thinks all these things are coincidences and possible in other situations too. She thinks Aiden is being too cynical, but he doesn't want her to be disappointed. Aiden thinks she's living in a fairy tale, but she has a good feeling about this. When Aiden tries to ask out the bartender, Jenny gets a message from Carmen. She calls Carmen to book the Spanish monastery for her birthday. Jenny feels like it's fate that her dream venue had a cancellation on her birthday. Madame Lotus also predicted her grandparents would be involved in her wedding. Since they're not around, she feels like she needs to get married where they did. Carmen asks for an update on Jenny's wedding plans and is impressed she has spoken to all vendors. Carmen wants to meet her fiancé too. Jenny claims he's a deep-sea diver, out on his expeditions. Carmen clarifies that she can't go ahead with the booking till she meets both of them. It's their policy, so Jenny asks for 2 more days. Aiden's boss, Clara, is not happy that he doesn't understand the urgency. Aiden claims he was taking care of the talent and asks Jenny to handle the phones while he's in the meeting. Jenny hears a famous children's book author, Tyler, talking to someone on the phone. He claims he's meeting a small illustrator, but it's the best he could do. He has seen Jenny's work and thinks she's good, but he feels like she's trying too hard. He also knows she's the best he has because he's out of options. Tyler assumes Jenny is the receptionist and claims he has a meeting with Clara. He asks Jenny not to mention what he said about the illustrator. He thinks Jenny is talented, but doesn't think she's drawing for kids. Jenny remembers him as the guy who wrote a book about a kid searching for smells. She thinks his books are silly and shallow, but Tyler feels like they make children laugh. He doesn't think his books need to have a deeper meaning because they're for children. When Clara comes out of the meeting, he realizes who Jenny is. Clara thinks their partnership can be very successful. She thinks Jenny's self-indulgent artwork can really help Tyler's writing. Jenny still feels like his writing is shallow because children need to be challenged. He thinks that's something pretentious adults usually say. Clara feels like every creative partnership needs the fire they have. She asks them to focus this energy on their work. She knows they need each other because Tyler's name will give Jenny exposure. She also knows Tyler's books have stopped having an impact recently. She feels like Jenny's fresh outlook will help him elevate his writing. Clara is excited for Jenny to read his new manuscript, but she walks out. Clara knows this is not Jenny's ideal job, but feels like something else is bothering her. Aiden explains the whole situation where Jenny needs to arrange a wedding without a fiancé. Clara would normally think Jenny has lost her mind, but she knows she usually makes things happen. Jenny really needs this to work for her dream venue, because she has been waiting for years. Aiden suggests bringing a stand-in fiancé to the venue meeting till she finds the real guy. Aiden offers to do it, but they know he's a terrible liar. Tyler offers to be her stand-in, only if she helps him illustrate his book. Jenny doesn't think she can pretend to be in love with someone like Tyler, but Aiden thinks that's her only choice if she wants the venue. Tyler is excited about booking the venue with her. She feels like he's not even trying to be presentable with crumbs in her shirt. She's just glad he's not her real fiancé. Tyler takes notes about the names of her family members and where she's from. He asks her to hold his arm, but she doesn't think anyone will believe them as a couple. Tyler is confident and thinks he's a great actor. Carmen is glad to finally meet her fiancé. Jenny explains that he flew down from Fiji. Tyler makes a story about envisioning this venue when he asks her to marry him. He makes an elaborate story with rose petals about how he proposed. Carmen loves that he went the extra mile, but Jenny thinks he's overdoing it. Carmen shows them the 900-year-old monastery that was built in Spain. It was purchased and brought to Miami later. Jenny shares that her grandparents got married there too. Jenny wants an intimate wedding, with only her closest family and friends. Tyler pretends he's not calling his Uncle Jimmy, even if he taught him how to ride a unicycle. He makes up another story about how he juggled in a circus. Jenny nervously asks Carmen if she thinks they're a good fit for the venue. Carmen has met a lot of couples and feels like they are something special. She hasn't seen a ring on her finger, so Tyler and Jenny claim it's getting resized and polished. Carmen agrees to pass their booking along to their events manager. Carmen won't be attending the wedding, since she will be on vacation in Aruba. Jenny stops Tyler from making more stories and wishes Carmen luck. Tyler is proud of how well he pulled this off. He asks Jenny to uphold her end of the bargain by illustrating his book. Aiden and Clara start plotting to help Jenny find a man who will agree to marry her on such short notice. They are worried about her meeting the wrong man so fast, but hope for the best. Jenny is going to spend her life with this man, so she doesn't want anyone random. She has a huge list of criteria about how he should be. Clara feels like she's looking for a unicorn, but Aiden is determined to find this guy. They consider dating apps, but Jenny doesn't feel she can find someone appropriate there. Clara suggests she can try speed dating the traditional way and meet a lot of men. Jenny is skeptical about dating apps and keeps swiping left. Aiden takes over the phone and swipes right on a lot of men. Jenny matches with everyone, but she judges them for how they type. She wants fate to decide this, so Aiden dares her to ask out the next guy who walks in the door. It turns out to be an old man, Nico. Aiden convinces him to have coffee with Jenny. She plays along, but is silent throughout their date. Jenny soon clarifies that she's not feeling any romantic spark. She apologizes to him and joins Aiden. While looking for a sign, they get a speed dating brochure. Jenny is proud of the sketches she has made for Tyler. She thinks she has the essence of the characters. Tyler doesn't like them and believes it's not what he had in mind. He isn't sure of what he wants and thinks he will know when he sees it. He feels like she's not trying enough because she is thinking inside the box. He wants her to realize there is no box and asks her not to force it. He decides to take her on a field trip where she can find some inspiration. He brings her to Miami's only alpaca farm. He wants her to take in the fresh air and smells and spend time with them. As they walk the alpacas, Barbara and Kevin, Jenny wonders if he usually does this for inspiration. Tyler claims he keeps going to different art galleries or museums to get inspired. He knows she's surprised that he takes his work seriously. He claims he really enjoys all the books he has published. He likes telling stories that make kids laugh. He claims he got into children's books because he was a grade school teacher. Jenny is surprised they let him be responsible for children's education. Tyler claims he used to make up stories for kids. He knew he had to switch to being an author when he had more stories than lessons. He misses teaching sometimes, but his book tours and readings make him feel a lot better. He hasn't had a hit in a while, so he really needs Jenny's help. His long-distance girlfriend, Laura, feels he should be more realistic and go back to teaching. Jenny doesn't think he should give up his passion like she's not giving up on her dream wedding. Tyler claims that Barbara wants to be one of Jenny's bridesmaids. He feels bad no one wants alpacas at weddings. Jenny claims Kevin told her Barbara goes to a lot of weddings and still keeps guilt-tripping people to invite her. Jenny asks if Tyler still draws, because he did the artwork for his previous books. Tyler isn't sure of his drawing style, but Jenny insists Barbara and Kevin need a portrait. They enter a 1-minute portrait challenge with each other. Tyler tries to delay Jenny so he can do better. They start drawing and feel fascinated by how Barbara is posing for them. Jenny pretends Tyler's drawing is cute to make him feel better. When she reveals hers, he is in awe of how talented she is. They discuss how Barbara and Kevin are the perfect example of an ideal couple. Jenny is glad she came out with him, and Tyler feels good she was so open-minded. She now has to get ready for speed dating, and Tyler hopes she finds her Kevin. She's about to ask him to come too, but Laura is flying into town from New York. Tyler insists he needs to make the most of his time with her. Tyler asks Jenny not to rush the sketches because he wants to let her magic happen. She's not sure what that trip was about, but is excited to try. When she gets home, she gets inspired and starts drawing. Aiden assures Jenny all the other candidates can't compete with her. She shouts about how she only needs to date one guy in the room. The music stops, so he seems to have heard it. Jenny feels embarrassed, but Aiden thinks the guy is checking her out. Aiden explains that they get 5 minutes with each date. After that, they can pick yes or no in the app. If they get a match and both people like each other, the contact details will be shared. Nico is trying speed dating too, and teases Jenny about their date. Jenny's first date freaks her out by discussing ways to preserve animal carcasses. Clara's date discusses how successful he is and his plans for early retirement. Aiden loves his date's nails and bonds with her. When their 5 minutes are over, they move on to the next table. Jenny's next date is live streaming it for his followers and asking for their approval. Clara ends up with Nico, who discusses his best-selling album. The comparer announces that he's recently divorced, so they can approach him if nothing works. Jenny thanks her next date for not live streaming it and joins Aiden for her next one. She's upset when she watches the guy she has a crush on leaving the place. She feels he's trying to avoid her when he is the only one she wants to talk to. Laura asks Tyler about Jenny and if he will have to share the book royalties with her. She is worried about the book not doing well, but Tyler doesn't want to be so negative. She suggests he can go back to teaching for regular income. He chuckles when he gets a text from Jenny about not meeting her Kevin. Aiden and Jenny barge into Clara's office to work on another idea. When Tyler comes to drop off a contract, Aiden asks him to join too. Jenny thinks Clara was right about not forcing this. Tyler doesn't understand how she will meet a man so fast without even trying. She feels they just need to create a romantic atmosphere to find someone. They suggest places, and Tyler remembers a mindfulness class he has been taking. There's some single guys he can introduce Jenny to. They all agree it's a good idea since calmness is a good quality in a husband. Tyler wonders if Jenny got any inspiration from the alpacas. She has already made some new sketches and asks him to come over before the mindfulness class. Jenny feels the sketches are a little rough, and Tyler asks her to soften the background. Apart from that, he loves the new sketches. This is exactly what he wanted. She promises to start working on polished sketches and likes to be challenged. He points out how Laura thinks he's a challenge. Jenny only thinks it's a challenge professionally. Personally, she is surprised Tyler is not as annoying as she expected. She knows she wouldn't have illustrated his book if she didn't owe him for the venue. She strongly believes work should be done wholeheartedly, but she is glad he convinced her because she's enjoying the process with him. They head to the mindfulness class, where Tyler informs her about his awkward childhood. He was an emo teenager and got upset when girls didn't like him back. His wise grandma used to say that happiness is like a butterfly. She felt it flies away when you chase it, but it might sit on your shoulder if you're not paying attention. Jenny feels that's very sweet and is amazed by how different he is than she initially thought. Jenny is surprised to find that the art gallery and wellness class owner, Blake, is the same guy who ditched her at speed dating. She tries to hide her face and asks Tyler about the single guys in class. He points towards Marcel, who built a whole hospital in Haiti last week. The other option is Harris, who is divorced, but only because they got married too young. Jenny doesn't know how to approach either of them. Tyler suggests she should ask them for some advice. She calms herself down, since she's nervous. He reminds her that she's an attractive, funny, and kind woman, and any of these guys would be happy to hear from her. Jenny approaches Marcel first, but starts fumbling with words. She almost breaks an artwork that Blake catches and is worried about how expensive that was. She pretends he doesn't know her, but he recognizes her from speed dating. He explains that he left the date because he had to check on the gallery's alarm. He was disappointed when he came back and learned Jenny had gone. He claims she was the only girl he was interested in. He asked her to come back to the gallery sometime for a private tour. Aiden can tell Jenny had some luck with love and asks for details. She explains how she ran into Blake and found out that he likes her too. Aiden asks for his full name so he can check him out online. He doesn't notice any red flags or questionable political opinions. He also did a triathlon for a child literacy project and plays the piano. Jenny feels like he's the perfect man and hopes this date leads somewhere. Blake shows her around the gallery, and they realize they have similar interests. They plan to meet for dinner again, and Tyler comes over after her date. He is amazed by how great she looks, and Jenny is excited about her chances with Blake. She asks for more time with the sketches, since they're incomplete. Tyler reminds her they have a meeting with Clara soon, and he can't wait around. He still asks about Blake, and Jenny is positive about him. Tyler thinks he should get back if they're not working. He wants to plan something special for Laura. Jenny feels Laura is lucky, and hopes she moves back with him soon. Tyler decorates the house and prepares to propose to Laura. He sits in the living room till the end of the night when he realizes she is not coming. Laura missed the flight because of an important work meeting and didn't want him to come to New York either. Tyler suggests it's time they talk about where the relationship is headed. Clara thinks Tyler and Jenny make a great team. She's ready to get their book printed. Tyler remembers what Jenny said to him initially about his writing. He thinks she's very passionate about her work. Spending time with her has made him realize he's settling for less. He claims things have happened recently that changed his perspective. He now wants to write a new book that is more meaningful. He wants to work with Jenny again and hopes this is something she will be excited about. He's still juggling ideas, so Jenny suggests he should write about his grandmother's butterfly spreading happiness. Tyler thinks she's a genius, and Clara's excited about where their partnership might lead. Blake stops by Jenny's place when she's working on the seating chart for the wedding. She gets nervous about all the plans laid out in the kitchen. She still invites him in for lunch. He asks to get the plates, but Jenny makes some excuse about how messy the kitchen is. She asks him to stay put while she hides the wedding arrangements and her mood board. She's acting weird, so she claims some raccoons were disturbing her. She comes with him to the living room, and they discuss how Blake has been in Miami for a while. His gallery is doing great, and Jenny is surprised they haven't run into each other before. Blake thinks it's fate and asks about the book she has working on. He thinks she's very talented, but doesn't like Tyler's writing. Jenny claims Tyler knows a lot about the market, but Blake feels she could do better. He asks her to message him if they can meet up again. Tyler calls Jenny with ideas about the book. Jenny is busy planning her wedding and seems very distracted. He is excited about the part where the butterfly makes people realize their issues are over. She claims it sounds great and asks him to get back later since she's planning her date with Blake. Jenny and Blake explore the market all day, and he remembers the time she almost broke his $10,000 sculpture. He wants to share something, but Jenny panics when she spots Carmen in the market. She asks him to look for her phone inside so she can greet Carmen. She asks about Jenny's prep and if Tyler is with her too. Jenny claims Tyler is diving again, and Carmen wishes her luck for the wedding. Blake is worried about her phone, but she pretends she didn't notice it was with her all along. Jenny doesn't pick up Tyler's calls, so Clara decides to start the meeting without her. Clara thinks his new book is on a different level. She knows it teaches that patience has a reward, and she thinks this will stay on kids' shelves for a long time. He has sent the manuscript to Jenny but doesn't know if she has read it. Tyler seems irritated that she's distracted with Blake. Clara asks if he has told her about his breakup with Laura. She thinks it's important because he likes her, but Tyler denies it. He still makes fun of Blake's name and thinks he sounds like a cheesy soap opera actor. Jenny's wedding is in a week, and she needs Aiden and Clara's help. She is sure Blake is the one, but wants them to nudge him in the right direction. She doesn't want to sound desperate by proposing to him. Clara asks if she has read Tyler's manuscript, but she claims she didn't get time. She is already expecting it to be great and promises to call him. Aiden and Clara don't seem to understand the significance of an apple painting in the gallery. Blake explains that they wanted to display everyday items in the painting, so people appreciate the art behind these objects. He decides to show them the rest of the gallery. Aiden somehow brings the topic to Jenny. Aiden and Clara insist she is very happy with him, but they feel bad she has never had long-term relationships. They hope Blake can show her he's serious because they want her happiness. Blake meets Jenny for another date and claims there's no point taking things slowly. He asks if she will move to Paris with him. He has been offered his dream job and has already signed a lease on an apartment. He doesn't want their relationship to end, so he asks for her to be there. Jenny explains that she's disappointed because she was expecting a proposal. She admits that she already booked a wedding for them because of a fortune teller. Blake thought a Paris move was rushing things, but a wedding seemed more extreme. He feels she wanted the wedding so badly that she convinced herself she had fallen for him. He claims to like her, but is hurt that she had planned the wedding even before meeting him. He feels everything they shared was a lie and breaks up with her. Tyler turns up at Jenny's place to give her the manuscript. She explains that she hasn't had the time to go through it yet. Tyler feels she only wants his help with the wedding and doesn't want to help him. Jenny clarifies that she initially felt like that, but she now wants to work with him. She reminds him she had other things going on. But Tyler feels she's living in a fantasy world. He thinks Jenny doesn't appreciate people around her and only thinks about herself. She reminds him she worked hard on his previous novel. She doesn't know why he expects her to drop everything to read the one good thing he has written. Tyler admits she made him believe in himself and think they could make something special together. He thinks it's not working out and asks her to drop out of the project. Jenny starts reading the manuscript and gets inspired to draw instantly. Aiden and Clara come over on Jenny's wedding day, and she feels stupid for planning it. They still support her and claim they were always rooting for her. She knows things can't work with Blake because she was forcing something that wasn't there. She feels bad she upset Tyler too, and he doesn't want to work with her. They offer to come with her to the venue to cancel it. She asks Aiden for a favor while she goes to the venue with Clara. Aiden brings sketches for Tyler from Jenny and explains that the wedding is off. Tyler had no idea, and Aiden informed him it all happened last afternoon. He shows Tyler the painting she stayed up all night to make. The editor is ready to publish it with Tyler's approval. Clara loves the venue and understands why Jenny wanted it. Jenny feels stupid for being so sure that the prediction would work. Clara reminds her that a lot of people love her enough to come to Miami to celebrate with her. Jenny feels she will have to call them and cancel, but Clara doesn't think so. She reminds Jenny that she already has an amazing venue for her birthday. Clara doesn't think she should wait for a man to celebrate her life. Aiden is excited that the wedding is now a birthday party and wants to get ready for it. He reminds Tyler that Jenny poured her soul into those drawings. He knows she will like it if he comes to the party. Aiden loves how great Jenny looks and feels like Blake has missed out. Jenny meets her parents and everyone who's come to celebrate with her. Aiden and Jenny are shocked to see Clara bringing Nico as her date. Clara thanks Jenny because she was able to meet him through speed dating. Jenny is glad everyone came for her and thinks they should open the champagne. She makes a speech about how she forgot she had so many people to be thankful for while she was searching for the one. She remembers Tyler in her speech and explains how he taught her about happiness being like a butterfly. She feels very happy and hopes all of them get their butterflies too. Tyler claims he was waiting for her present before he came to the party. He gives her a freshly published book with her butterfly drawing. She takes him outside and apologizes for their fight. She feels bad for neglecting their deal and asks about Laura. He explains that they broke up because the distance wasn't working for them. He asks her not to feel bad about it because he knew the relationship was already doomed. He only realized it when he started spending time with Jenny, who made him happy and excited. He admits everything feels right with her, and he misses her when she's not around. Jenny wishes he had told her this sooner. She claims the last few weeks with him have been the happiest for her. When they were pretending to be engaged, she was sometimes hoping they actually were. Tyler explains he didn't want to say anything because she seemed happy with Blake. He feels their timing was wrong, but kisses her since they have finally realized it. Her parents, Clint and Meredith, come to meet Tyler. Jenny claims it's a long story with him that she will explain later. Clara realizes they are in the middle of something, and they decide to leave them alone. Jenny wonders where they are in their conversation, and Tyler kisses her again.